Welcome to Manchester United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from, guys? How are you? And this is the Manchester United Matters channel, and I go by the names of Rock and David, aka RD, to bring you these stories in here onto this channel. Now today, there is really a very big story into the news that Manchester United are monitoring Christian Eriksen in there. You know him, he is the Danish national team captain, and he has just made his back. He has just made his return to football in Brentford shirt. Remember, he collapsed in the Euros in there when Denmark was in action in there, where they're playing a team which goes by the names of Russia in there, and they managed to see to it that they give him a little of information and courage, and now he's back to his foot. And it has been really said that Manchester United is one of those teams that are really looking to sign Christian Eriksen in there for you guys. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to go to the lower right bottom corner, smash the subscription button, and after smashing it, click the notification bell that will enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. Now today, there are stories that have just come in that I really want to first talk about in there. Arsenal, it's a blessing in disguise for Manchester United. Arsenal have been beaten by Crystal Palace in there, and this leaves United still in the chase of the top 4 position in there, or the 4th position of the Premier League, because if at all Arsenal had gone ahead to win against a side which goes by the names of Crystal Palace, they would have gone 6 points clear ahead of Manchester United with a game in hand. Now Arsenal just have 1 game in hand, and they're just 3 points ahead of Manchester United, and Spurs is level with Manchester United at 30 games, but Spurs is ahead of Manchester United by 3 points in there for you. So it shows you that there is a very big race in there for you, and it's a blessing in disguise for Manchester United. And each and every time United looks like they're out of the top 4 race, Arsenal bottles it up. So we don't know where this is really going to go. It looks like it's going to go on the wire, and it's really going to be decided onto the last day of the Premier League in there. So that's what I needed to first bring to you in here onto our channel before I really get into some stories that have really made news in there for you. Now, Manchester United is looking for its permanent manager, and news coming out show that Manchester United players are divided over Erik ten Hag. Some think that they should bring in Pochettino, and others think that they should bring in Erik ten Hag. Those that don't really believe in Erik ten Hag, we know that clique. We cannot really come out and talk about it, but we know that clique that is not technically gifted, because they know if Erik ten Hag comes in, he's a technically gifted manager who is technically gifted, and he would love to use technically gifted players in there, and they wouldn't have a chance to play into his team. And they know that very much better, because technicality in this game of football is really so much important if at all you're ready to go into this game of football and really get results on the pitch in there. Because when you look at United, the game of Leicester City, you saw that the technicality of our players is too low, because the moment you mix technical players with lots of players who are not technically gifted, it's very hard for them to connect up. That's why you see them misplacing passes and not really doing the needful and reading each other's runs in there. So Manchester United is so much in trouble, because they are losing out on signings, because they are taking long to decide on who their next manager is. But news coming in from the camp indicates that Manchester United players are divided on who the next manager is supposed to be. Others think it should be Ten Hag, others think it should be Pochettino. But even the ex-players have really come out and said that most of them are really favoring Pochettino, that he has Premier League experience. And I'm asking these players of Manchester United, the manager that really saw you win all those Premier League trophies never had Premier League experience. Have you gone ahead to use your brain before you come out to the media and really give all your opinions in there? I agree and admit that every person, all human, is entitled to his or her own opinion, but not on this, because in such a situation of Pochettino and Ten Hag, we have to put these two managers on a weighing scale and ask ourselves, who is for the future? Who is on the decline? Who is on the high? You get? Because this is evident that Ten Hag very much is 52 and Pochettino is in his early 40s. Ten Hag is on his high. He's accelerating, yet Pochettino is decelerating. You get? And I will ask myself, these players feel like Pochettino should come in and be a Manchester United manager, whom I will back if at all they bring him to be the manager of Manchester United. But have they thought about Erik ten Hag and the excitement that comes with him, you get, and the signings that we want at Manchester United that have always not been made, because there was a statement that I really read very well from a man who goes by the names of Ralf Rangnick in there, because he came out and made it clear that United does not need players who are known at the quality of Liverpool and Man City. United needs players who are really at that quality of a team which goes by names of Man City and Liverpool, and building that team, it took Liverpool close to 5 and 6 years. So that's what United should go for. In his own words, Rangnick said, on the manager of Manchester United, he said, whenever the new head coach is clear, it has to be, how does he want to play and what kind of players do we need? Then we come back to the DNA. Speed, physicality, tempo, and what we need to do in there. That is something so much important. If I told you to talk about players that we need at Manchester United, because a DNA is needed, a philosophy needs to be built at Manchester United. That's why I really come out and argue out very many people who say that Ferguson had a philosophy he built at Manchester United. No, Ferguson never had a philosophy of football he built at Manchester United. Never at a single point did Sir Alex Ferguson coming in and build a football. What am I talking about? What is running in my mind? A football philosophy at Manchester United. I'm sorry, a little bit. A moment. Never did Ferguson build a philosophy at Manchester United. Tell me whether by his time United was a passing side or a counter-attacking side. He just approached every game differently. He just knew how to approach every situation as it stood. You get? That is Sir Alex Ferguson for you. But for these other people in there coming out and yapping about the philosophy, Ferguson never had a philosophy at Manchester United. We had no style of play at Manchester United. We were just a team of people who could really die for the team, and they had the never say die character in them. And he just told them to the pitch that you go and get the job done in there. They feared the manager and they always played for the manager, but he had no philosophy. Like you can say that Pep Guardiola tiki-taka, Liverpool pressing game. When you look at Barcelona, it's now tiki-taka. When you look at certain teams like Crystal Palace, it's a counter-attacking team, but with a lot of technically, physically gifted players, you get? So I cannot come out and really say that Ferguson really had a philosophy at Manchester United. Something that we need to build at Manchester United, something that Ralf Rangnick is talking about. We need that at Manchester United. We need a DNA to be built. We need a character to be built at Manchester United, such that even if we don't have a manager, we can know the type of players we want to sign. Look at Bayern Munich. Even when the manager is away, they know that this is the football we play. This is the system we play. We need such and such type of players. If Nagelsmann is not at the club, when we bring him at the club, we like this player. They go in and bring that player. You get? That's what we need at Manchester United, not what Ralf Rangnick is talking about. So I really believe that these players should come out and do the needful and stop deciding on who the next manager is going to be at Manchester United. And it will be very cynical for the board of Manchester United to listen to these players, because who has let us down always? It's the players. Under Mourinho, they let us down. They came out and said the manager is not good enough. Under Louis van Gaal, they did the same. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they are doing the same. Under Ralf Rangnick, they are doing the same. And the board does not really get its ears to the ground to get to know that, oh, the real gist of the matter and the gist of the problem is the players, because the players are the ones that cannot adapt to the tactics of the manager. That's why I really come out and believe in this saying that old monkeys never learn new tactics in there. That calls for a call out, a new rebuild. You get? Some players should be thrown under the bus. And the only way this is going to be possible, it's when Ten Hag comes in, because Ten Hag will go in and say, you are giving me 150 million pounds, all right? Do you give me authority on the players to sign? Do you give me authority on which players to throw under the bus all out of this club? Now, Ten Hag can come out and really throw out 8 players at Manchester United and sign in 8 players, because in those 8 players, he can gather some good amount of money, like 120 million pounds, to accelerate his budget to like 300 million pounds. Then in 300 million pounds, Ten Hag can go in and sign for you players of 40, 50 million pounds, like 4, you get, okay, like 5, that is like 200 million pounds, you get, those are 4, you get, then he will go in the remaining 100 million pounds, sign these other players that are really gifted, but not yet onto the world stage, but really have that level, or that high ceiling of reaching that level at 30 and 25 million pounds. And he can get you those players, he can get you more 8 players into the squad of Manchester United to replace the other ones that have left, because we very much know that Eric Bay is leaving, Phil Jones is leaving, Paul Pogba is leaving, Nemanja Matic is leaving, Juan Mata is leaving, Jesse Lingard is leaving, which other player? Edson Cavani is leaving, Ronaldo might leave, and even Anton Martial. So the only manager that can stabilize the ship and keep Anton Martial here is Erik ten Hag, because he knows Martial is technically gifted. And I really did the video and told you that if Erik ten Hag comes in at Manchester United, he's not going to need to go in and bring in a centre forward, because we know if Greenwood returns and Martial, they read my line very well. What he needs to do is to reinforce the midfield and maybe the wing play by bringing in Anthony in there and getting in a replacement of a centre forward of Phil Jones and a player who goes by the names of Eric Bay, because those two are leaving. So to me, I really believe that Erik ten Hag is a favorite manager for the fans, and I really believe that the board should go in and bring in Erik ten Hag. And news came out from that journalist who first broke out the news that United have interviewed a player or a manager who goes by Erik ten Hag from Amsterdam. He has said that United are just one step away from announcing Erik ten Hag as their next manager in there. So we wait and see what happens. So your reaction to that story is welcome into the comment section below. Now, after that, we are going into the Christian Eriksen story that has broken the internet today and has got very many people by surprise. Matt Barlow of Daily Mail Sport has come out and said Manchester United are among the clubs closely monitoring Christian Eriksen's situation. He will be available on a free transfer this summer. That's what Matt Barlow has come out and mentioned into his story today. So that is something great in here onto the Manchester United Matters channel, and I'm going to react to Christian Eriksen being monitored by Manchester United, because in the summer he's going to be a free agent in there for you. Remember, he came back to play in a game of Brentford, and he went into the international break and scored 2 goals in 2 games. Then he came back at Brentford as they're playing a side which goes by names of Chelsea, and they won it by 4-0. He scored 1 goal and he had an assist in him. So in 3 games, he has been involved in 4 goals, 1 assist and 3 goals in there. To me, I really believe that with players like Juan Mata getting out of Manchester United, I really see a lot of ability in Christian Eriksen. He can accept to be a bench player at Manchester United, but I don't know who is really sanctioning this transfer, because United have always been admirers of Christian Eriksen. Even when he was leaving Spurs, he just snapped Manchester United to go to Inter Milan. You remember that very well? I think you remember that very well. So Christian Eriksen, he's being admired by the board of Manchester United, but I really believe that Christian Eriksen is a player that can come in and fit the foot of any manager at Manchester United, because he's technically gifted, he's a free kick specialist, he has that last pass onto him, and when you look at Bruno, he plays lots of games, and we've not yet seen him play when there is another player who is even far much better than him when it comes to quality, because I really believe that Christian Eriksen is far much better than Bruno Fernandes when it comes to quality, especially if at all you want that player who is really going to dedicate that play and really get you that assist in there and doesn't really misplace very many balls as Bruno does, because Bruno is a culprit of misplacing very many balls into that midfield area of Manchester United. Even when a simple pass is required, he tries to go for the hard thing. You get? And I will believe that when Eriksen comes in, it will be a very different competition altogether. Bruno will know, oh, I have a player who can play better than me, and this can be a case study of Bruno Fernandes, and Eriksen can give him a chase for the money. And maybe for the reason of making Bruno a better player, you bring in Christian Eriksen. I've always told you that this is something that Sir Alex Ferguson did when Ronaldo and Rooney were at Manchester United and still young. He always brought in a player who goes by the names of Henrik Larsson, who was playing in America. Remember, in America, from January to March, their season is off. And this man came in at Manchester United and he really trained these young boys in there. That is Ronaldo and Rooney. And they'll too come out and testify that he really did a very good job into their work in there for you. So to me, I really believe that Eriksen is a very good signing for Manchester United, and I really believe that if he comes in, he's going to give Bruno a chance for that position in there for you. And he's 30, and I really believe that he can be at Manchester United for the next 3 years in there, and he can just come in as a substitute. He won't start very many games at Manchester United, but like in the game of Leicester, when you need that player to come in and really get you that pass to release your center forward like Ronaldo in there, or to get you a free kick, or to get you a goal outside the 18 box area, because I've seen him very brilliant shooting outside the 18 box area. He has that technique, and he's one of those players that really have that technique of shooting behind or outside the 18 area, something that United is lacking in there. That cutting edge of a player like Eriksen is being missed at Manchester United. And with Juan Mata leaving, Jesse Lingard leaving, and we know the bosses of Manchester United with the board, they don't want to spend a lot of money because they know there's going to be a very big exodus of players at Manchester United this summer. I've counted close to 7. So you have to look at players who are really on free and they can really meet the quality of Manchester United, like Eriksen, and you bring them at Manchester United, because this time around he won't snub United because the United wanted him and he never snubbed it. He snubbed it for Inter Milan, and I really believe he'll come in and do the needful for Manchester United. I don't know what you guys think about Christian Eriksen coming in at Manchester United, and United are monitoring his situation. I really believe that if he's being brought in at Manchester United, he's one of those players that can come in and get us something different, especially those last 20 minutes. Like in the game of Atletico Madrid, if you have Christiansen into that game, it's a different game altogether. He can give you 15 minutes, but they are two quality minutes that no player at Manchester United can give you. I tell you this, Bruno can't do the role that Eriksen does, because Eriksen does not misplace balls like Bruno. Bruno misses out on very many passes. You get? He tries to do the impossible when he's having the ball. But Eriksen is accurate and precise. That's something I know about him. And his decision making is way far much easier in there. And it's easy for him to play with Bruno Fernandes in the same team, because they'll cause a threat, because he will really get Bruno flowing, because Bruno is so much good playing as a number 10, and Christiansen can play deep. You get? Like when you feel like your team is down, like in the game against Atletico Madrid or Leicester City, you get on Nemanja Matic and get on Eriksen, and you leave Bruno to play in front of him. You get? Because even if he's playing as a deep-lying midfielder, will come in and do the needful in there for you. And people will say, no, we have worries about his heart problems in there for you guys. These English people, all the whites, when it comes to health, they are so much skeptical. They do make those checkups, and you know what happens to Kana Aguero. If at all he was able to play, they would have said he was able to play. But after getting a cardiac arrest onto the pitch, Eriksen taken to hospital, and they really did medical tests and they ran them very well. They told him you can come back on the field of play and play very well, and so they allowed him to come back to the field of play. That is Eriksen in there for you. So guys, feel free to tell me what you think about Christian Eriksen being monitored by Manchester United. For my case, I really believe that he is worth it. We need him at Manchester United because we're really going to have a big exodus of players. And if I told you you're going to get a quality of Christian Eriksen for free, you get him at Manchester United until you stabilize, because very many players, especially playing to the forward role, are leaving. Martial Rumor has it he doesn't want to play at Manchester United anymore. Cavani is leaving. Ronaldo might go because he might not be able to play. He might not be wanting to play into the UEFA Europa League. Lingard is leaving. We don't know what's going to happen to Mason Greenwood. Those are 5 players expected to leave. Paul Pogba is 6. Is a forward midfielder. Those are 6 players. Nemanja Matic is leaving. Those are 7. Eric Bay is leaving. Those are 8. Phil Jones. 9 players are leaving Manchester United. Had I counted one matter, so those are close to 10 players. And if at all you're losing 10 players, if at all there is a good player who has a quality of Eriksen, I really believe that you go in for him. I go by the names of Rokan David. I sign out for now. See you later, my mates.